All right, well, I'm back on the Technics. What was the model of this unit? RS-TR232, the double cassette deck. And remember in the previous video we found a broken gear, actually two of them. So I did go ahead and order a set of gears. Hopefully they are the correct ones. There is the part number. It's probably nonsensical. I don't know if I can get it to focus a little bit better. There's a QR code on there as well. But nevertheless, I did get two sets because I always like to have backups. That's just my OCD-ness kicking in. So let's go ahead and pull the mechanisms out. They're a little bit loose. I think I have maybe 2 screws in them. No, I put all 4 in. What was I thinking? Anyhow, the customer did approve the estimate on this unit, so let me go ahead and pop those out of there and see if we can get those gears installed. One moment. Well, it's definitely been a day and a half since I did one of these. So, let me see. I think I can unclip the pinch rollers pretty easily. Get those guys up and out of the way. And then I'm trying to think, there must be a tab. And I believe it's that. So we need to dismount the heads, or the head, as the case may be. Better screwdriver. Ah, that thing is on there. Oh, there it goes. Okie dokie, got that one too. That spring might pop out right there, but if I push this down, I think I can lift it up and get it completely out of there. And then there is the defective gear. Took a bite out of crime. Yes, it did. So let's go ahead and see if the replacement gear is similar. Certainly hope so. Well, from all outward appearances, it looks almost identical. From what I can see, yes, perfect. Let me see. I'm just going to go ahead and add a droplet of oil. I know someone's going to comment I should be using grease. Well, the grease I have is only white lithium, and I'm just haven't been totally happy with it. Look at that, mounts in there perfectly. Oh, missed it, sorry. So what I did was oiled the gear, and look at that, fits absolutely perfectly. Well, let's see if we can get this thing to line back up somehow. Yeah, that, just gonna have to take that spring off, I think. Or maybe just move it up and out of the way. Trying to see what I'm missing. So that's what switches the direction. I'm curious if that's what's binding. So I think that's the lever that switches direction right there. I'm sorry, that was off camera. Okay, now I'm going to call that good. It went back together perfectly. Okay, all attached. I like it. Hopefully everything is aligned correctly. And it looks like it is, because that's what reverses the head, and it's in between those two springs. So I think that's going to be perfectly fine. All right, let's tackle the second deck, the forward direction deck. Oh, this one's got a lot more weird stuff. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put the pinch rollers back on. So okay, installed. Now the question is, how does this deck come apart? It looks definitely different. Okay, so that will move out of the way. Once again, I need to get the complete head assembly out of here. Up, hidden screw. Yeah, that was on there. I was hoping this one maybe just went into plastic for the fake erase head. I'm hoping that's all that there is. And looking inside, nope, I've got to remove the record play head, which means I will need to realign it. There it goes. So I had to add a little bit of acetone for the thread lock. They put it over the portion the screwdriver would attach to, and I couldn't get the screwdriver down in there adequately. All right, let's go ahead and remove that spring so we don't lose it. Oh, yay, a spacer. Unclip the spring like last time. And this should pull down and just lift out of there. Hopefully you can see it this time. There is the broken gear. 2 sets of teeth missing. The other new gear. Tiny little drop of oil in the center of it. And then we'll just put all this stuff back together. Okay, I think that looks pretty doggone good. Kind of got the azimuth where I think it should be. So both decks have had the broken gears replaced. Let's go and throw this thing together. I'm not going to video that part of it. It's just mounting those 4 screws back in it, plugging in the cables, and I'll get it hooked up to my receiver and we'll play a tape and see if it works. One moment. Okay, got it all back together. All the screws have been reinserted from the mechanism into the front plastic faceplate and the metal bottom. Mechanisms are in there. I haven't cleaned them yet, but I want to go ahead and bring you guys along to try this out. Have not even tried to power it up yet. Here we go. AC power in 3, 2, 1, power. And nothing. And it shows it is on. Well, let's just go ahead and pop the tape into one side of it. And we'll hit play. And it is actually playing. It is taking up the tape, which is excellent. Will it rewind and fast forward? It will not fast forward. Why? Oh, I hope that little belt's not slipping in there. Yeah, let's see if I can get positioned where I can see it. And yes, the belt is actually slipping. Well, wish I would have known that when I had that thing torn apart. So let me show you what is going on here. Let me zoom in on it. And hopefully you can kind of see what's going on when I hit fast forward. Watch this pulley right there. Let's go ahead and try to pump up the exposure. It is so dark. Here we go. Okay, 1.5 stops. There you can kind of see what's going on there. Okay, here's fast forward. And the pulley is just stopped. So what I was doing was just kind of moving it along. You can see, as long as that magnet keeps turning right there, everything will be okay. But if that ever stops, then it's going to shut down, because that's what detects tape motion. It's actually getting better. But I've got some round belts. We'll go ahead and replace that one. And we're probably going to need to replace that one as well. Good times, good times. Okay, so we know for sure that deck 1 does work. It does play and it does not stop. Let's go ahead and check deck number 2. Play. And it does show that it is playing. Play the opposite direction, which I believe worked previously. How about fast forward? Well, that works. And rewind. That one works perfectly fine. Why does this one have more torque than the other one does? Interesting. Okay, well, nevertheless, I need to at least change the belt on that one right there. Well, I went ahead and I checked the belt. The tension's perfect on it, but it's just not grabbing. I'm just going to go ahead and try to get a cotton swab in there and clean it with some acetone and see if we can improve the situation. So I've got the door open at this moment, as you can see. So what I did is I put a solder blob across that switch right there. That's the switch that tells it that it has a tape inserted. And then on this side, I did the same thing on that switch right there, so I can run this. Now that belt looks almost identical, but this thing on this side's got plenty of take-up torque. This one does not. So I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, cotton swab moistened with some acetone and just try to wipe off that belt and see if I get better traction. If not, I'll go ahead and pull those screws out of the flywheel cover and go ahead and replace that belt on this side. One moment. Okay, well, after cleaning the belt, let's go ahead and put it in the fast forward mode. And I'll try to lock up the reel. It's got a lot more torque. I think it's been sitting for so long it needs to be exercised. So I did go ahead and clean both belts on both decks. And this deck working perfectly. I did go ahead and clean both capstans and pinch rollers on that deck. And then this one is in fast forward still. I cleaned the head and I did clean the capstan and the pinch roller, although it does not look like it. Let me go ahead and give it a quick wipe off. Well, I got you guys right here. One moment. Get a cotton swab soaked in some acetone. And there we go, focus. See if I can get in here. And oh, whoops. Really? Can I find a pair of small needly nose instead of the gigantrons? Okay, got that out of there. Let's try to go in this way so you can see what I'm doing. All right, and then we'll hit play, and we'll just give this a wipe off because I did brush some acetone on it. Okay, looks perfect. Well, let's go ahead and see if it makes sounds. Okay, I have a receiver connected, so let's just go ahead and hit play here. And it is playing. What about the opposite direction? Yep, that side's working perfect. Doesn't sound too bad. Hopefully it's slow enough I don't get a copyright warning on it. But that side is working. Eject. And we'll go ahead and pop it into this side over here and hit play. Oh, the azimuth is way off. Let's see if I can do it with this one. I know you can't hardly see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, I like that. So what I'm doing is adjusting that screw. See if I can zoom in on it for you just a bit. So I'm trying to adjust that screw right there. And so this adjusts the azimuth of the record playhead, or the playhead in this case. And so if you listen to the high frequencies, they virtually disappear if the azimuth is not correct. Let's wait till they come back. Okay, or next song. Okay, I like it about right there. That sounds good. Well, I think that's going to be it. Let's make sure it rewinds now. Oh yeah, plenty of torque. No problem at all. Working great. Let's make sure the other side sounds okay. Yep, sounds perfect. So this was a test tape I made a few years ago on a really nice Nakamichi. I forget what the model number was, but I kind of use it for alignment. I do have a couple of Sony alignment tapes. I'm pretty sure I have an Azimuth 10K and a Speed 3K tape. They're just packed up in storage, and I just got to find time to get it. I do have I actually have a couple of leader wound flutter meters that I intend to get on the bench one of these days. But until that happens, I'm just going to have to go with old reliable, my ears. It's worked for me many years. Anyhow, that is it. The repair on the Technics Stereo Double Cassette Deck RS-TR232. I certainly hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and leave me a question, a comment, a concern down below. Good or bad. Especially about the acetone on the belts and the heads and the pinch roller. I know I'm going to get the YouTube comment generator triggered on that one. I try to respond to the comments when I have time, which hasn't been very often as I'm not feeling that well at the moment. What is this, May 2024? Hopefully that's going to change very soon. You can follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X at NorCal715. You can email me, NorCal715videos@gmail.com. Actually, still, if you want to contact me, leave me a comment on one of the videos. I respond to those much faster than checking my emails. Remember, with your help, we can try to keep these things out of the landfill, out of the recycle bin, and out of the e-waste facility. Everyone, thank you for making it to the end of this video. I really, really appreciate it. Everyone, have a great day. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we are completely reassembled. All the screws have been replaced. And you know what? Is this thing still on manual exposure? It is. Let's go back to auto magical. Okay, let's try that again. I told you no. I do not want you up there. You need to stay down.